Okay, this video is called What's It Like to Be a Low-Fat Vegan? So I'm going to go back a little bit in time. This is what I used to look like in college, and I looked pretty much like that for another 10 years because I was always working out, but I started getting a little weaker because I didn't have time to work out. This is a lot like what my old wife looked like. Imagine an Eastern European peasant who is real strong, as beautiful as it could be. A perfect 10. Absolutely gorgeous, but not as nice as her beauty would suggest. A lot of times men attribute to a woman when she's pretty other qualities that she doesn't really have. And okay, so let's go to the next slide here. And that's a little bit more what I look like in my earlier doctor days. Well, actually, no, that was later. That was later because I lost my hair there. This is my old magic bathroom at my great house, the house that was like paradise. I showed you a bunch of slides of that, like my divorce moving videos. Okay, so anyways, that's pretty much my status quo for a while when I was a lacto-vegetarian, if you will. What had happened in my 30s, I had gotten real fat. The reason I'm showing you this is that, you know, I'm in my 60s now. I'm like 63 and I got, you know, I'm skinny, I'm healthy. All my friends, the ones that stayed with the standard American diet, the Mediterranean diet, they're all fat and sick, okay? I get phone calls from my buddies, you know, what about my stents, my coronary artery disease, what about, you know, their obesity, their hypertension, their diabetes, etc. And I got fat in my 30s. I was a total workaholic. I was doing 2 fellowships simultaneously, had a baby at home with the wife. During my fellowship year, which I short-tracked to do 2 at once, I authored a textbook. I wrote the manuals of procedures of endovascular brain surgery. I wrote the manuals of MRI protocols, CT protocols. The fellowship director told me no one ever in the history of the program had ever done anywhere near as many things as I did in 1 year. Okay, so I was a total workaholic. I was drinking 7 cups of coffee a day. I was waking up every morning like at 5 a.m., going to bed at midnight. It was not a healthy lifestyle. So I got fat. I got up to about 220 pounds. And then I couldn't lose the weight. I couldn't lose the weight for about 3 years on willpower, so I decided I got to start learning what to do. And, you know, I just thought exercise more, eat less would work, but it doesn't. And then I started reading everything. I'm like, oh my God, my wife was making fun of me. She's like, oh, good, you're going to become an impotent diabetic. That'll make my life easier. I go, you just wait. Then I'm not going to let that happen. And so I started reading everything on nutrition. And I was like amazed. I'm like, oh my God, this is where all the cures are. Conventional medicine never cures anybody of the common diseases, obesity, hypertension, diabetes, coronary artery disease. So I did that, and then I read McDougall. I was featured as a star McDougall, I think in like 2007 on the, you'll see it at drmcdougall.com website. And I lost all the weight. I went from 200 up to 220 pounds. I went all the way back down to about 154. Okay. And then I initially was just lacto-vegetarian, but now I'm 100% vegan. There's like a typical food plate. And people say, oh, well, you must be miserable being a low-fat vegan. No, I love it. It's being like Adam and Eve. They walked around eating plant foods, you know, active in the day, sleep at night. And basically, my rule of thumb for being healthy is don't do anything that Adam and Eve couldn't have done except keep your indoor heating and plumbing, for the most part. They had fire back then. They could cook food, okay? And then here was this one song. It's called Samantha Fish is the singer, this lady right here. And the name of the song is Need You More. Because like my old wife would like blame everything on me. It's like, the dishwasher's broken, it's my fault, you know. And of course, it was always an angle, so I have to give her more money. And it actually worked out pretty well, having her like a landlord. You know, if something breaks, I would give her money to pay for it, but she would deal with it. She would make the phone calls and, you know, make sure she was home when it was installed, whereas I would just sort of like pay for stuff, and I was happy with that. The other thing too is I'm real glad I kept exercising. I'm sorry I didn't live like where there was a wrestling facility. And I could have kept, because I was a college wrestling coach for a while, and I liked being a wrestling coach. And it kept me in great physical shape, a lot more upper body strength. I don't have the physical upper body strength that I used to have. But I'm still, you know, I can crank out, these are dumbbells, 35 pounds apiece, and I'll crank out, you know, 44 reps pretty easy. And I'm not even back anywhere near, because I took a lot of time off with family problems and stuff, helping out some people in my family. But and working like crazy. So, and then going on this treadmill, I routinely walk 7-8 miles, and I'll crank through tons of stuff. So I can do that, go up 50 flights. What I'm trying to say is I'm still healthy. You know, who knows? Big Pharma might kill me tomorrow, or a car might hit me, but I'm still healthy at 63 and doing good. Whereas all my friends, except for the ones that also went low-fat vegan, They got a bunch of health problems, okay, in their 60s. And the biggest, smartest doctors, the ones my friends used to tell me, oh, he's as smart as you. Yeah, right. He was eating Mediterranean diet, and those guys got health problems, okay. All my Mediterranean diet friends, they got health problems. Whereas, I'm still feeling good, looking good, and I love the low-fat vegan diet. These are the kinds of things people send me an email. Thank you for changing my life. People send me a lot of nice things, and I don't know how to use artificial intelligence, but some of the viewers of the show, they'll send me these memes they make with artificial intelligence, things like the Spartan vegan diet and other stuff, and they're very nice. And this is one somebody sent me recently, and I get lots of, so I like it. What I'm basically saying is I'm 63, and instead of being fat and sick and worried about my health, I'm not worried about my health. I'm just doing the things I enjoy doing. I got to work as a conventional doctor. That's where the money is. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of interesting things in conventional medicine. I've been doing it for over 30 years, though. It's pretty routine for me. This nutrition and health and stuff, I really like it. I always joke with my friends, my routine as soon as I come home is shit shower showtime. I get ready to go. I have fun writing all my books. What I'm trying to say is by eating a low-fat vegan diet, I maintain my health and my energy and my brain so I can do what I want to do. I want to write books. I love writing books. I got a lot of important things to say, and I know nobody else is saying them. I know my books are the best medical books ever written. And I like making my YouTube channel. Even though I'm shadow banned on my books on my YouTube channel, I know it's a great channel, and I know it needs to be done, so I'm enjoying it. What I'm trying to say is when you eat the low-fat vegan diet, you're probably going to keep your health, and you can just enjoy your life instead of being like so many people who are all worried about all their sickness and illness problems all the time. And, my wife divorced me. She cheated on me and left me for a truck driver, and I was very unhappy with that. I wanted to keep the family together. I wanted to keep the marriage together, but she didn't, and there's nothing I could do about it. But now I got a new wife, gorgeous, and my old wife, if we were both single on a dating app, my old wife, she couldn't get a date with me. And, today's Father's Day, and, I had to work all day long. I was on call. But what I'm trying to say is, all things considered, I used to think when I was a kid, your life after 60 is going to suck. But I'm telling you, I'm having a great time. I just hope it lasts. I don't know how long it's going to last. I love writing my books. I love making my YouTube videos. I love my new wife, okay? It's all good. So, humans are made to eat this, not necessarily 100% vegan, but like 90, 95%. And it keeps us healthy. It keeps our arteries open, prevents diabetes, prevents hypertension. Every day you go to any conventional hospital, you see a river of patients out in the front door, and they're all waiting to go for colonoscopy, CAT scans, ultrasound, MRI, blood tests, clinic visits, bronchoscopy, screening CT, all of this stuff. There'll be 50,000 of them for every one patient that goes low-fat vegan, maybe 100,000 of them for one fat. And it's the low-fat vegan diet. It's the only thing that's going to cure them. It's the only thing that cures long-term obesity, hypertension, diabetes, coronary artery disease, and all the things related to it, abdominal pressure syndrome. So I thank God I found the low-fat vegan diet. I'm so grateful Dr. McDougall figured it all out. Dr. McDougall said, just eat starch, 90% of your calories from starch, 5% fruits, 5% veggies, and you won't get any of these chronic diseases. That's great advice. That's the most valuable thing I ever learned in all my career in medicine. And, I actually eat about 35% of fruits, sometimes 40% of fruits, but that works for me because I still exercise a lot. The fruits are really good for you. They're just, a pain because they're more expensive. They don't store as well. Some of them are really sweet, like bananas. You can get rebound hypoglycemia from them. But anyways, so I love being a low-fat vegan. I am very grateful. Thank God for all these guys who figured all this stuff out. Walter Kempner, Dennis Burkett, Nathan Pritikin, Dr. McDougall, Caldwell Esselstyn, T. Colin Campbell, Gregory Sloop, and all the other pioneers. Anyways, I'm happy to be a part of them. And so I think it's a wonderful thing. It's the best thing. It's the most powerful thing in all of medicine. As my internal medicine buddies say, the patient is the one who has the power to choose what they eat. And you got to filter your water, make sure you have a good routine for sleep and all that. But it's not inevitable that you have to be fat, sick, and stupid after 60 like almost the vast majority of Americans, the vast majority of Westerners. It doesn't have to be that way. I'm grateful for it. Instead of worrying about disease, I just enjoy time with my wonderful, beautiful wife and using my brain to do the things I want to do. So anyways, I love being a low-fat vegan.